Well, good afternoon to my dragons. Hello, hello. I know I'm on early today, but you know what? I looked up and it was 12:12 and I was inspired. And I like coming on a little bit earlier because some of the Europeans can catch in, and I know that they always like to catch the lives too. So I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to find me. Wow, my name is Araya. I am also known as the Dragon Lady and love to share the dragons, the love they have, the protection they have, the guidance they have, and how to work with them. And that's what I do in my For the Love of Dragons group. I'm a psychic medium, energy healer, and life coach. And I'm running a 9-month Way of the Dragon Heart program right now. And I'm announcing the next book club today. So stay online to see when that is starting. Wanted to just fill you guys in on a couple things. Hi, Robin. Good to see you. And yeah, if you're there, let me know. Either send a like or a heart, or let me know a comment if you have any questions. I didn't get any questions this week, which is what I like to answer in my lives every week so that everybody benefits from it. But I've had some interesting perspectives come up that I wanted to share, and also some interesting information come in. Just saw this, just approved the post, so it's right underneath this one in the feed, that Maya sent in letting us know about what's going on in Yellowstone, because I hadn't seen this on the news yet. And this is pretty big. This is exciting. We've been talking about all of the High Trinity, all the different earth rifts and things happening globally with cracks in the earth opening as the core expands. There's a neat post way down in the feed from earlier this, in the last couple of months, with a great video about that expansion of the core and why that's happening because of the crack in the Earth's magnetic field. So what's happening now, we've seen earth rifts in New Zealand, in Peru, in Europe, in Greenland, in Antarctica, in Wyoming, other parts of Wyoming, in Kilauea. We've got active volcanoes going on. We've got lots of flooding and things happening there. And now today I see there's a rift. I know I've talked about the super volcanoes, mainly the big one being in Yellowstone that is way past due for its activity. And that's something that we don't want to go into panic, because we don't know what we've mitigated with all the light work happening on the planet. But there is some expansion happening there, and so to see a rift that just opened up yesterday, it's 100 feet long at this point, but growing, and that there's been increased activity at the Steamboat Geyser, which I was unaware of, that typically in the last 28 years, it's the biggest geyser outside of Old Faithful. And the Steamboat Geyser has actually, I think, erupted 11 times in the last 28 years. And now this year it's erupted 11 times this year so far. That's pretty interesting. That's a pretty big uptake in activity, and I don't think that we are getting all of the reports of all the activity. I've sort of heard that on the scuttle and sort of the underground background news of like what's really being reported to the public and what's really going on that the rangers are aware of. So I even noticed 10 years ago, I think I've talked about this before too with you guys, that when I was living in the Yellowstone Basin, I was in Jackson Hole for about 3 years, and then I was in Lander, Wyoming for about 7 years. And those are both within that Yellowstone ecosystem, and I was able to witness all of the reports going on then of actually the bottom level of Yellowstone Lake, that they were measuring the depth, and it kept changing. It wasn't the water level, it was the baseline level of it rising up and then dropping back and rising up, almost like it's breathing, right, like magma does. And that was, oh gosh, maybe closer to between 10 and 15 years ago that I was living there and watching that happening. So it's interesting to see there's actually now a rift south of Jenny Lake towards Grand Teton National Park, or south of Yellowstone itself into Grand Teton National Park. But things are happening, things are on the move, so pay attention to that. Thank you so much, Maya, for posting that into the group. Hi, Adriana. Also want to let you guys know the next book club is being scheduled, so if you've been missing those, been wanting to get in on one, let me know, message me, email me, and I'll get you the details. I will post the details into the group and onto the Dragon Within page itself, probably later today or tonight. But giving you guys a couple weeks notice, starts in 3 weeks. Thursdays again, that seemed to be a great time slot. Thursdays from 11 to 1. Okay, Robin, I'll come back to that as soon as I finish this. Thursdays 11 to 1, running from, let's see, August 9th to September 13th. It's always a 6-week format. We do a 2-hour gathering time for those that are part of it. And we have great discussion. Then we end with a meditation and some comments. And I would say that all of the people that have done it so far have had 2 rounds. That's 22 people. It's funny because I always say it's limited to 10, and there's always an 11th that I just can't turn away. So we'll see what happens this time. But I know that people find it's way more than a book club, because sometimes we don't even end up discussing the book. We end up discussing dragons or questions or metaphysical aspects and what's going on around the world and how that's all tied in. So there's fascinating discussions, and I know that, yeah, I hope so too, Robin. I know that everybody that goes through it says this is so much more than a book club. This is transformational. This is life transformational, and it's a very small commitment financially for a 6-week deal. It's like a mini program where we get to share and talk, and it's not all about me leading a class. There is a lot of that, but everybody gets to bring their pieces and discussion to the table. And the last one ended up with this incredible group that came together on the solstice and had a really powerful activation happen, led by one of the gals in it that I was able to hold the group space for, which was awesome. So loving that, loving to have that on the books now. It's 3 weeks out, starting Thursday, August 9th. So I will post some information about that. Now let me look to your question. Can we carry more than one dragon in our being? So when you're actually a dragon embodied, when you're a dragon heart or a dragon keeper, you are definitely only one dragon. But as you activate and get connected to that, because that's the hard part, is actually releasing enough stuff in your own human being, balancing enough karmic stuff to actually get to that place where you can even start to feel your own dragon self and really start to connect to it, and how that comes into play with activating your dragon heart within your own human form. And that's what this whole 9-month program is for the dragon hearts. That's what we're going through on a very step-by-step process to open through all of that, remember all the pieces, clear all the pieces, clear all the blocks. So we have only one dragon inside of our being that we are, if you are a dragon keeper or a dragon heart. But we can have many dragons working with us in our energetic field. So you might sense or feel, hi Londa, good to see you. I was just talking about some of my book club groups, and there's one of them from the first round. Great to see you. So when we have others in our field that you're perceiving, you might be thinking, oh, is that me? Is that, part of me? It could be part of your dragon trying to reveal, but if you're feeling more than one, they're usually your guides, and you can have multiple guides. There's usually a predominant one that sort of stands at the front, hi Annabelle, and steps forward and is sort of like leading the show and pulling in other dragons for different pieces, because as a guide, just like your regular angelic guide and guardians, they are responsible for what your soul is desiring to call in and helping you attain that, helping that get activated, helping bring things across your path that are going to trigger you to your next phase of growth. So if you have one specific dragon, or even the angelic guides do this as well, and they are there for a specific time period or task, and during that time period or task there are other pieces that come in, then they will call in their friends, call in their like what's the lifeline on the trivia shows, like call your buddy, call your lifeline, get that help. And they have teams that come in, and sometimes you've got a full realm of dragons. Some I've experienced in dragon readings have a full family of dragon clan that's there at their back supporting them, and they can feel them because they're very aware. But they do have specific guides right in the front doing pieces. And maybe they tag team out. Maybe one finishes a piece and goes out and comes back in. So great question, Robin. Thanks for bringing that up. And then just a couple other things I thought would be interesting to share. Why do we work with the dragons? What does it lead us to in working with the dragons? Well, for those that are dragon hearts or dragon keepers, it will lead you to actually being able to embody your dragon and bring that piece of your soul essence back into your awareness in this time and space, in this body here and now. And as we're, the phase that we're in as humanity on this planet, we're in a space where we're moving towards actually being able to bring our light bodies down into the physical realm, to still be in this body, but move into our eternal aspect while still in the physical body, and bringing that higher dimension of manifestation of really making the impossible possible, of everything being possible, and bringing that in. And I know that's how some of the previous civilizations on the planet actually lived. When you look back at Lemuria and Atlantis and things even way beyond that, really, really ancient Egypt, like Egypt's much older than most of the history books talk about, with 5,000 to 7,000 years ago. There's some stuff way back further than that, but bringing all those pieces, that's how they could teleport. That's like how they could build things like the pyramids. That's how so many of these monumental wonders of the world that are being discovered and unearthed and are going to start, that's going to keep going. As these earth shifts happen, there are going to be things rising that we didn't even know were there. Lots of temples and lots of pyramids and lots of things that are going to start being exposed that have been lost underground, lost in jungles, lost in mountainsides. They're going to start revealing. So working with those dragons, that's the first and foremost reason that I see, is being able to really connect to your truest self and bring that in. That's your essence, that your goal. But it does lead you to awareness of all the things that in you that need triggering. So as you work with higher vibrations with these dragons, they're helping you clear things out. Well, as that happens, you're going to see things that you've not dealt with. It makes you get really honest with yourself, and it makes you more humble in that way of being able to really see the truth of who you be, as far as your woundings, your blocks, your resistances. Hi, Joanne. Just announced the next book club if you want to do another round. Finding all those pieces, and it starts revealing information about past lives, about karmic ties that need to be balanced and finished. Because as you move towards completeness, all these other pieces that haven't been balanced and complete need to come in. So that's as you start working with the dragons, all those kinds of things can reveal. So that's where a lot of that great value is. So I'm going to keep it short on that stuff today. I feel like I've actually been talking for quite a while because there's been this flood of stuff. So those that just popped on, definitely, Joanne, go back and watch the beginning, and those watching the replay that are going to come in. Really interesting stuff happening in Yellowstone right now with earth rifts and geyser activity. So watching that, and I love your questions. I'm so grateful that all you guys are here today. I know I came on impromptu, so I apologize to those that are going to check in at 3:15 and realize that it's a playback, but it was 12:12 and something inside me said, go now. So here it is. Christine, is it possible to call upon dragon energy for assistance when still learning what they do? Absolutely. If you call with your intent, and that's one of the great pieces about having the book available, and having the mantras and how to work with each of them. So when you're still learning what they do, that's really, that's how we learn about any system. And my goodness, there's something big happening energetically right now. There's some internal toning coming in. So I'll be very curious what that is about. I'll share that next week if I get clarity on it, but something big just shifted. So when you're still learning, it's like saying, can I learn to play tennis if I'm watching or actually out playing and taking a lesson? It's exactly the same. You don't learn and have that hands-on realizations until you're out on the court, actually like hitting a ball and going, oh, that wasn't right. So experimenting with it, try calling them in, see what works, see how strongly you feel them, see if you're, not sure of how to pronounce the mantra. If there's any of those mantras that you guys want pronounced, feel free to ask me. I'll talk about that in a live so that people can hear them verbally and know that. And maybe, maybe I'll just do that next week. I'll go over some of the mantras. Yeah, what was that, Joanne? Did you feel that? It was this big, I better check and see if Yellowstone just erupted. Yeah, my head is tingling. Adriana, yeah, maybe that's why I was supposed to come on at 12:12. Something big just happened. My whole body is tingling about that. So we will see something dimensionally shifted, but I feel like there was really something big planetarily that just happened that we're going to have awareness of. Hi, Brigitte. So yeah, finishing that question, Christina, absolutely. Start working with them. Try. You've been calling upon the fire and golden dragon. I'm still having struggles with recognizing. Oh, darn it. I just lost your comment. Recognizing. Oh, this is so funny. It just turned your dialogue sideways. So I'm trying to see what it says. Trying to hear their messages. Yeah. So trying to hear their messages. So just keep doing it, because sometimes we don't have our intuitive gifts quite open enough yet to hear their messages or to see them, but you'll perceive their energy. And this applies to everybody. As you're calling them in, just keep trusting the process, because they are working on your energy bodies. They will come in and work on your physical body, but even if you're not aware of it, they're coming in and starting to heal and clear and move things in your energy bodies and etheric bodies. When you send your intent out to the universe, it responds. So if you're calling the dragons, definitely just keep trusting that that is coming. I would also suggest maybe you're already trying to work with the golden dragon. Yes, right now, intuitively, you can call forth and work with whatever dragons feel right. If you're getting a hit that you need to work with the golden dragon, that is a really high level vibrational one. So you might not perceive everything that it's doing. You might not even be able to see its symbol or how it drops in. But that doesn't mean you're not receiving work from that session. I would encourage you, though, to go back and do some of the elementals, especially in the gold dragon lineage, which are the fire and the black, in order to step up to really receiving that work. So that could be what's out of alignment there as far as actually being able to pick that up. So I love you guys. I thank you so much for coming on today. I look forward to these lives every week, and it's really working well, actually, to have it on Tuesdays. So we might keep this format. We'll see. But definitely get a hold of me for the book club if you're interested, because those spots do sell out every time. That's why I always have like one extra person that's like, oh, I'm going to squeeze in 11 because I just can't say no. But if you're interested, definitely get your name on the top of the list, because I do have some that were actually on a wait list for those first spots. So I will, let's see, that makes sense. I just got, this is so funny. It's turned my comments sideways. I don't know why, so I might have to read those comments later, because I'm having a hard time looking sideways. So, all right, you guys have a great, great Tuesday. I will see you next week. It will be on Tuesday again. And if I am inspired midday before my 1 o'clock Dragon Hearts program class, I will get on and do this. Otherwise, it will be after that class. And either way, there's a high flow of energy on these days, which I think is why I like it so much. Because as I'm in tune with my Dragon Hearts for the day, it's always super expansive. So have a fabulous day, and we'll see you next week. Bye.